Hello and welcome to another CraftySniper's Airsoft videos. Right, today I'm going to be talking about sniping and camouflage. Sometime over Christmas I kind of worked out in my head that I don't do enough of it. I dearly love my Tokyo Marui Scar H AEG. Awesome rifle, let's face it, it's a Tokyo Marui. I'm getting to be different. But, as you all know, I have purchased an Aries Striker and I've been doing a lot of work upgrading the thing, and I managed a couple of weeks ago to actually get it to a match. I made a video previous that's on my YouTube channel somewhere, showing what went wrong, or talking about what went wrong. But that hasn't let me down yet. I have been working on it, but I have now started to work on camouflage because the actual rifle now, internally speaking, is fairly well how I want it. Now, I've got a few choices. I have in my possession a ghillie suit, which is the long strands of cotton and wool and twigs and God only knows what. I've had that in my collection now for about 2 or 3 years. It's got trousers, got a jacket, it's got a hood section, and it has a rifle wrap section. I hated the thing. It was a great idea, but I personally hated it because even though once I was laid down in a summer environment, I should say, so lots of greens, lots of bushes and things like that, I could disappear right up to the point where I fired. The problem was when I moved, it got caught up and snaggled up on everything. I was literally part of the bush because I couldn't separate myself from said bush. So I kind of got away from those style of ghillie suits, and I'm going towards leaf suits. Now, I actually have a leaf suit. My leaf suit I've got at the moment is an autumn leaf suit. I've only ever used it once. It was at one of the last matches we did at Curtin site of Lincolnshire Airsoft Club, one of the biggest sites I've ever been to. But because it's an autumn suit, it's a lot of browns, a lot of whites in it, and a lot of people say, oh, you're not going to disappear, that's not going to work. Bull hunky. I disappeared. But can't really use it in the middle of summer, and I can't really alter it too much to make it a summer suit. So what I've decided to do is I've gone on the market and I've started to look for a summer summer leaf suit, and I've got a couple of three on the list, and I'm going to look at which one's really the best. Try and look at photos of them, proper photos, not advertisement photos, and see what's what. Now, short of me buying from the military, I'm never going to get a leaf suit which is perfect out of the box. So I am going to have to alter them in some way, shape or form, adding foliage here and there, fake leaves here and there, that kind of stuff. And I will make a video, once I get the leaf suit and I've got the leaves and I've got all the rest of the stuff I'm going to add to it, I will make a video showing off the leaf suit and the process of actually making a leaf suit, which is quite interesting because I've never actually tinkered with a leaf suit in my life. However, what I have done is I've added camouflage to my rifle. Obviously, like I say, it's the Aries Striker, and internally speaking, it's just about done. So I decided over the last couple of days to work on the camouflage aspect of making this rifle disappear, and this is what I've come up with. This is now camouflaged at least 50% of the rifle, certainly the front end. I think I've done a pretty good job. However, all those in the know are probably going to say, oh, you've made it terrible. What I've gone for, this section here is the rifle wrap section of that old woolly ghillie suit I had in my collection. So this is the kind of stuff I've got on this leaf suit, on the ghillie suit, which was a nightmare. It got everything caught up. Now it's all right in a rifle sense, because I've also used string basically to wrap over certain sections and hold it all together. Obviously in time, strands of this stuff is going to come loose and come out. That only adds to the camouflage because you're trying to make this long straight piece of gun, front end, airsoft replica, disappear. Nothing is straight in nature, nothing. So this great big long telegraph pole of a front end of a striker needs to be altered. What I've done at the end is I've added some camouflage leaves kind of material, which came off an old net of mine, which I've had for years, around a suppressor. I kind of thought last night, an idea suddenly popped into my head. How am I going to take the suppressor off when it's connected to, the camouflage systems are actually connected to each other? So I'm going to have to take this apart again, at least the front end, take the suppressor apart, and I'm going to camouflage the suppressor, connect it up to the rifle, and then for transportation purposes, where I have to make the rifle a little bit smaller, I can at least take the suppressor off. The barrel doesn't go into the suppressor, it's just there for looks, which is quite good now because I've camouflaged it. But anyway, yeah, for transportation purposes, I have to make this rifle a little bit smaller, so I can still take the suppressor off and still keep the camouflage system on the barrel of the gun. It ends just where the magazine magwell is, so that I can still use the magazine magwell of obviously all the bits and pieces that I need to operate the rifle. They're all still free of charge, still all free of camouflage. Now you may be wondering, you haven't done anything to the back section here. Well, there's a good reason why I haven't done that. I'm a left-handed shooter. Don't hold it against me, but I am. That means when I'm using the rifle, this portion of the rifle here is basically covered by me. And you've got to imagine that obviously with a leaf suit on myself, I'm going to be camouflaging the back end of this rifle myself. So the right side of the rifle, I've actually attached more of this leafy kind of material. Basically, I've just glued it onto the plastic of the rifle. As you can see, the rifle came in field green anyway, which is the one I wanted, so that adds to the camouflage. Ignore the tag here. This is obviously because it was chronoed at the last match. But yeah, I'm starting to add this. I'll get some more of this material and put it in certain places. Obviously, as I'm holding the rifle, you know, I'm going to be camouflaging it with my hands because I'm going to have camouflage gloves on, the full works I'm going for. I may do some work on the magazines. I know Aries do what they're calling the short mags, which weirdly I think hold more ammunition than the long mags that I've got. So that will add to the camouflage as well, just making the whole platform a little bit smaller. So that's the rifle I've done. I am going on to the leaf suit. I am going to, once I purchase this leaf suit, I am going to start putting up photos of it. I am probably going to have to add some material to it. A friend of mine who knows a lot more about sniper rifles than I do has gracefully loaned his range. He's got a massive open field that I can stretch out a rifle and just see how it's doing. The Aries Striker, I think we're at the stage now where it can go for long testing and start really working that the new hot booking which is in it, which I think is a PDI booking. So that's got to be bedded in. I've only managed to fire maybe 100 rounds, maybe 200 rounds out of it. I need to be firing, you know, 500 really before the hot booking starts bedding in. That way I'll be able to find out what is the best weight for the gun. I'm hoping 4.3s. That'll be my go-to weight. 4s I think are going to be too light for a sniper rifle shooting at around 470, 480 I think it is on .2s. So yeah, all those that actually got Aries Strikers, and you're wondering how to get the ability to actually fire and, you know, get good range on a heavyweight ammunition, you've got to look at the edgy dual bore barrel. Okay, that's the minimum you've got to look at. You could shorten the rifle. You can lob off all this outer barrel here and use the shorter section of barrel, which will increase your air volume in your cylinder for the length of the barrel. Got to get awfully scientific here. But yeah, the edgy dual bore barrel at 500 odd millimeter, 550 I think it is millimeter barrel, has two inner sizes, and that, believe it or not, corrects a lot of the issues we've got with the Aries Striker relating to its air cylinder volume ratio thingamajig. There is another way that has just entered the market, as of this video is just entering the market, and that is another part made by Edgy, and it is what they're calling the Nemo cylinder. Now the Nemo cylinder, I have no idea how it does it. I haven't been able to look at one. I've only been able to look at it on photos. And basically the Nemo cylinder will correct all the issues of your air volume over the original cylinder that comes with the Striker. The downside of this cylinder, and I'm not knocking the technology on this thing, I really am not. I'm not knocking the quality or anything like that. The downside is the price of the thing. Now I spent about £100 on, I think it's called the CPSB cylinder kit, which is a cylinder, spring guide, piston. and that doesn't correct any of the issues with the air to volume ratio thingy. Basically, that just makes it a more smoother pull on the bolt, because believe it or not, the standard rifle, it's a nightmare to actually operate the thing. The Nemo cylinder will correct it. Now, like I say, the downside is it's over £200. That's, I do believe, don't quote me on this, but I do believe it's a cylinder head. I'm not sure whether it comes with a piston. I think it comes with a spring. I think you can, if you order it from Edgy, you can actually set which spring you want to have it installed. Yes, it corrects all the issues of the rifle, but over £200 for a cylinder. I spent £120, I think it was, on the inner barrel on this thing. It's fantastically it's not overpriced. I'm not going to say overpriced. It works. It's a uniquely built inner barrel. I say it's £120. The cylinder kit is over £200. Now, if you want to buy the cylinder with the inner barrel, you're talking over £350. The rifle itself only cost 180. I think I picked mine up for £170, brand spanking new with 2 magazines. So £350 odd, I think it is. It's over £300 anyway. For all that, I know it's going to make the rifle work brilliantly. I would really hope it'd be perfect. It's a heck of a lot of moolah to put down. So yeah, I'm probably not going to go down the route of the Nemo cylinder. I'm hoping the inner barrel, the Edgy inner barrel, has sorted out my air issues. And in fact, to be honest with you, when I was able to test it in the last match, it was starting to lob those .43s and .4s and all those kind of ammunition weights and reach at least 60 odd meters. And you've got to remember that was a brand new setup with a brand new, never used before hot booking. So that's going to take a while to bed in. So anyway, that's why I decided to make this video before I start dribbling on about the strikers. Like I say, once I get the leaf suit, I'm going to put photos up. I will start putting photos up of any of the attachments I'm going to add to the leaf suit, and I'm going to hopefully, the aim is to, before the weather starts really getting warm, is to have a full sniper setup. Don't know how I'm going to do the load carrying, the weapons and all that kind of stuff, and the ammunition, the magazines, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. I've got enough kit to, I could probably kit out about 3 or 4 soldiers. So yeah, I should be able to find a way of doing that. So yes, if you've got any questions or comments related to the Aries Striker, bang them over to me. I've stripped this rifle down so many times now. I do know quite a bit about this rifle. If you've got any suggestions on how to camouflage myself, because I'm over 6 foot tall, so it's quite difficult to camouflage something so large. Yes, again, bang them over to me. I'm quite happy to talk camouflage to anyone. Happy to talk airsoft to anyone. So yes, I'm CraftySniper. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it a bit informative. And I will see you on an airsoft site very, very soon.